Well, welcome back. Before we start on today's video, I've got a small confession to make, and it's an important lesson for all of us. I showed you me sanding the rudder and the fin, and at the time I didn't have the plans with me, or the instructions with me, because I'd taken them downstairs to read, and realised that I'd said to you right at the start of the video, don't forget that. Now, it's no big deal. All that happens is this bit gets cut out and gets glued to the front of there. So my apologies. Good job we picked it up now. It's no big deal really, so we're just going to cut that out and then stick it on with super glue and then sand it to shape. So the next thing we're going to crack on with is we're going to join the wings, and then we're going to look at covering. Okay, so let's do a little bit of housekeeping. Let's get this sorted. That's the bit I omitted. I've just cut that out, and that is going to get super glued to there, and then I'm just going to sand off any glue edges. That is, believe me, the fin finished. Okay, so joining the outer panel to the inner panel, what I've actually done is I've just got a little bit of blue tack, and I've just put a little bit of blue tack here and a little bit of blue tack just gently either side of this spar. That's just to keep it firmly down on the bench. Now all I'm going to do is I've cut from the scrap, I've cut myself a piece of wood here that is 38mm long, and what we're going to do is we're going to jack that up. And what you want to do is jack it right up, so it's right just on the tip like so, and you might need a little bit of blue tack just on this blank here that I've cut. You want it right on the spar just before it drops off the end. You don't want to go all the way in, because that's going to make it even higher dihedral, so it just needs to be right on the edge so it can support itself. I'm just going to form this in its shape, but I am going to do this with 5-minute epoxy. If I had plenty of time, and bearing in mind I'm trying to do this via videoing, and if I use PVA, which would be my preferred choice, I'm going to have to wait a while before the glue goes off, and then I can go on and do the covering. So purely for videoing purposes and speed, I'm not too happy about using super glue. You could use super glue, it's not a problem, or cyano, but I'm just going to use a little bit of 5-minute epoxy here, and I'm going to glue these outer panels so they're raised up by 38mm. Okay, a little run through of how I got the angles right on my wing. I took an inner panel, just one inner panel, and I fixed it down in place with some blue tack. You could just use a little bit of weight, but I used blue tack just to hold mine in place. I've done this in metric for everybody, so I actually jacked each tip up to 38mm, like so. So I then glued this inner panel to this outer panel at 38mm. I did that to both sides. When they were dry, we've now got to join the two halves of the wings together. So what I actually did was I then held one main panel down and jacked it up to 25mm, like so, and then glued the main panel, the two wings together. So this side was fixed down, this side is jacked up to 25mm. That then means that we've got a tip angle for the pair of them is showing 2.5 inches on the plans that I've got, so that's 63.5mm. Now it doesn't matter if you're 64, you're 63. I don't think half a mil out, or half a millimetre, a couple of millimetres is going to make a big difference. But that's how we've ended up with the polyhedral. That is as clear as mud. So